All I can say is this store definitely lives up to its name, chic and style. A life well lived is worthy of celebration. This is the reason families and friends gather to pay their last respects to Reverend Foluke Aduroja, a woman who will be remembered for her diligence and sacrifice, amongst other virtues. Now, this ceremony was an emotional one, and here are the highlights.
Families, friends and well-wishers gathered at the Methodist Church Nigeria, Abeson, Ikpaja, on the 22nd of March 2024 to honor and pay their last respect to Reverend Foluke Aduroja. Many couldn't hold back their emotions all through the funeral service. The service commenced with a remarkable procession of Methodist ministers as they filed in to honor one of their beloved members. As the deceased was laid by the altar, they filed in groups, comprising of the clergy and others she belonged to. They took turns to honor the woman many described as a virtuous woman. Staff of TVC Communications were present at this service to give their emotional support to their colleague, Mrs. Kemi Foladeyemo. Reverend Foluke Aduroja lived a remarkable life, a fact attested by many. She was renowned for a cheerful disposition, compassion, as well as profound service to God and humanity. Beyond being devout to her religious beliefs, she was also known for her diligence and sacrifice. The preacher describes the late Reverend Aduroja as down to earth and always open to correction, adding that death is not the end of whoever serves God diligently, but a transition to eternal glory.
We have no conversation with death unless Christ decides to come. But if he doesn't, it's after 176 years old that I will now call them, come, let's have a talk. When do you think it is appropriate for me to go home and rest? And death will not come.
Despite the solemn atmosphere, the choir rendered soul-lifting songs, praising God for a life well spent. The congregational hymns were also carefully selected to encourage the downcast. A brief outing service was also held for the deceased, in which a small crowd trooped to Methodist Church, Igbogila Cemetery in Ikpaja, Lagos for the interment. Thereafter, guests were entertained for a reception. The hall was also packed full. The atmosphere soon transformed into a celebratory mood, fitting for a woman of great virtue. The music delivered by the band lifted people's spirits, prompting them to dance joyously to the wonderful tunes. The lasting influence a mother has on her children is unforgettable, as evidenced by the heartfelt words spoken by her children and grandchildren who spoke highly of their mother and grandmother.
Mommy's demise was a very painful one. Notwithstanding, we thank God for the life which she left behind and the legacy which she nurtured and which we are going to carry after now. Of course, she trained the children to be independent and to be leaders of tomorrow.
My earliest memories of her was as a disciplinarian, but as I grew older and I got to understand where she was coming from, those harsh moments that I thought were very harsh, I realized how warm a personality she was. And so I would look back with fond memories now about those our conversations, those candid conversations where we were having heart-to-heart talk, advice, gossiping, you know, those friendship moments. I will never forget those moments, and I will treasure them for life.
I will always cherish the memories I have of my mom. My mom was a prayer warrior. I will miss her for her prayers, for her support, for her encouragement. At all times, she shared in my pain. She always supported me. I will always miss her for her calls. She will always call me, even times when I don't have the time to call her. She will always find time to pray for me and my husband and my son. I miss her so much.
She carried everybody along and showed love, even to those who were in her biological children. The way she showered care and love to everyone that happened to be around her at every point in time. And the most striking thing today that I observed was how people were visibly touched by her demise, and some couldn't even control the tears. People who had only encountered her a couple of times. And for her, that's like the greatest gift.
My grandma, she was so nice that I cannot even describe her. Just that I just pray that her soul will rest in peace. And I also thank God for her life that she spent on earth. I know that everybody will miss her. Just that I just thank God for keeping her safe on earth. She was alive.
Friends and associates also lauded the virtues of the departed, saying she will be sorely missed.
When I went on national assignments for an appointment to serve our fatherland in Abuja for 5 years, I appointed her a coordinator for my class in the church, and she did the job excellently well. And today, the class is the only class standing in the church. That is to the glory of God and to her credit.
Mama Aduroja was a mother indeed, a wife indeed, and I want to say a prayer warrior, humble to a core, and as old as she is ready to give anything for anything. Nothing that Mama have that is very important in his height to give to anybody.
I happen to be presbyter in charge of Abeson Circuit, where Mama served. She's served under me for 2.5 years. And Mama happens to be one of the ministers you can vouch for. She's a prayer warrior, she's a lay preacher, she's there in whatever you put you give to her, she's ready to do it well.
Reverend Aduroja left an enduring legacy, not only for her family, but also for everyone who knew the retired teacher and minister of the gospel. Those saddened by her passing, they are comforted that her memory and great works live on, even as she has gone to a better place.